Hello, everyone. My name is Atticus, and I thought it would be really fun to try the Clangen speed paint challenge thing. I myself am an amateur artist, and I don't have a ton of experience doing digital art. I have some, but I honestly haven't picked up the pen in a few years. And I thought it would be fun to get in the practice and put this out there. Um, she led another patrol a moon later, where they came across a large metal forest built by two legs. The massive branches swung slowly in the air, and there's a constant hum, but they catch plenty of prey, though. I guess at this point I will mention that I have it so we are playing in the wastelands because I thought that would be fun. Uh, and obviously we know that the metal forest is a field of the wind turbines, but they're cats. They don't know that, and also they're basically in the apocalypse. So, then later, other cats they notice that Smokestar is always doing the difficult tasks herself. Like she is always saying, "I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that," and she is always putting herself first to do the difficult tasks. It's like she doesn't want anyone else to do them. She doesn't want anyone else to deal with that. Maybe it's because she feels a responsibility for her clan. Maybe it's because she knows she has as many lives as she does. Um, She's very close with another cat known as Pearfreckle, and trust me, Pearfreckle is going to come up a lot. Pearfreckle thinks she is the main character, and everyone else seems to also think she is the main character. So I don't know, Pearfreckle may just be the main character. But Pearfreckle, at some point, Smokestar surprises her with something nice. Smokestar also almost loses a life. Uh, when investigating a den that they found in the territory, and they kind of find out the hard way that it was a Wolverine den. So lovely. Um, she almost lost a life, but she didn't. She still has 9 lives as of the end of the first year. Uh, and then she's pretty close to her deputy, Flower Cry, but not very close. And Smokestar thinks that her deputy is acting really weird. Meanwhile, Flower Cry is wondering what Smokestar is thinking. So I think there's some kind of miscommunication going on there. Later, Smokestar is actually expecting kits, but at first will not say who the father is. And she is very overwhelmed by this. She is scared of being a mother, especially a single one. Um, we will reveal who the father is later and whatnot. She does have the baby on the 12th moon at the end of the year during Leaf Bear. The next cat we will talk about is Flower Cry. And Flower Cry, he's just kind of a silly guy. He's very sweet and he's always doing his best by everyone. Um, at one point, he and another cat have a very difficult conversation with Grey Kit, and apparently they have a deeper understanding of each other after. I personally think that this conversation is him and the other cat explaining to Grey Kit uh, what happened to his parents. It's kind of left up into interpretation what happened to Grey Kit's parents, but it's implied that they died while founding the clan. Um, And that's just Flower Cry. He later leads patrols to chase off rogues, and he considers Pear Freckle a close friend and wants to explore the entire territory with her. Again, there's Pear Freckle. And to be fair, Flower Cry is a great friend to Pear Freckle. He comforts her after a really bad nightmare and whatnot. Flower Cry actually confesses to another cat, and this cat rejects him. He goes to train with this other cat, and he is complimenting this other cat relentlessly. Like, he is laying it on thick. Um, and he confesses multiple times to this cat, and the entire time the other cat says no. And he ends up confiding in Pear Freckle about this, uh, because Pear Freckle is his closest friend. Um, and so that's Flower Cry. That's his drama. Um, he is a good deputy. He goes on lots of patrols, but in his free time, he's kind of a good old fashioned lover boy. Petal Mouse is the medicine cat, and she is always trying to help other cats. She doesn't actually have a very good relationship with Smokestar, but seems to always be um, willing to share important news with him. The interesting thing about Petal Mouse is that she actually starts off not liking Pear Freckle, and she seems very jealous of Pear Freckle and all the attention she's getting. But eventually she comes around on Pear Freckle too and is like, you know what? You are the main character. You're so great. Uh, and actually, Pear Freckle, Petal Mouse, and Smokestar all sunbathe and share tongues. Um, Now, Petal Mouse does tend to overwork herself. She is constantly trying to gather herbs, and at one point, she is so tired that instead of collecting cobwebs like she intended to, she ends up just walking straight into them and flailing around. Uh, she needs sleep. She doesn't have an apprentice yet, but she probably needs one, considering just how tired she is all the time. She's a very tired kitty cat. Um, if you if you want to know just how much Petal Mouse and Pear Freckle did not like each other, they got into an argument over a feather. Yes, a feather, my dear people. Um, they got into a literal argument over who would keep this feather, and in the process, they ended up actually destroying the feather, so neither of them could take it. I guess if I can't have it, no one can. But again, they mended ways, and yeah. Uh, Petal Mouse, uh, actually, she notices a tomcat flirting with another cat, and she gets jealous. Now, she's a medicine cat, and when I looked at their relationship, she did not have any romantic interest in this cat. So I have no clue why she got jealous. Maybe she just had like a little crush or something. I don't know. Um, while out gathering herbs, Petal Mouse does get a very intense vision and immediately shares it with Smokestar. Um, he didn't listen because this immediately he ended up in a Wolverine den. But that's what you get for not listening to your medicine cat. But also, what are you gonna do? When a prophecy says that something bad is gonna happen, it means something bad is gonna happen. Um, after all of this, she actually gets into a scuffle with another clan's cat and gets a nick in her ear, which I forgot to draw, but it is a thing. But yeah, so that is Petal Mouse. So next up, we are going to be talking about uh Ganderrise because I've got some thoughts about Ganderrise. So the first thing he ever does is he specifically decides to take nesting material that Gray Kit wanted. Like, oops. I get, but no, he specifically decided he wanted to take it from this little kid who doesn't have any parents, like not even adoptive parents, and he's just kind of mean. That's why I gave him kind of a cheeky little pose when I drew him. Um, in the Leaf Fall, he is developing a crush on Smokestar, but he also has a crush on Flower Pride. So he's a bi king, but don't get attached. He's a problematic bi. Um, so this is actually the cat that Flower Cry admits his feelings to, and Ganderrise rejects him. Um, and Flower Cry takes this in stride. He ends up like going on patrols with him and whatnot, and like they're still really close. And Ganderrise does have feelings for Flower Cry, but he seems to be a little conflicted because he also has feelings for Smokestar. Um, but then during Leaffall, he is picked up by an eagle, but somehow he survives with just a broken bone. Um, and after this, he wants Ganderise makes sure to tell Flower Cry that he is absolutely crazy about him. That is the exact wording. Like, if you're so crazy about him, why do you keep rejecting him? It's like he's just leading Flower Cry along. I truthfully, I don't know what to make of Ganderise. I don't think he's a good cat. I think he's kind of a manipulative little bastard. Um, but I guess we'll see how this turns out. So now we will be talking about Gus Talon, and there's not a lot to say about Gus Talon, except that he's very accident prone, I guess. He gets green cough uh quite quickly, but then he immediately gets better. Um he's pretty good friends with Pearfreckle, as well as everyone is good friends with Pearfreckle. And he also has a crush on Flower Cry. Like honestly, Flower Cry should look at Gus Talon, but there is a catch with Gus Talon that we'll get into. Um Now, Gus Talon also had a very hard conversation with Grey Kit about Grey Kit's parents. She's very curious about where she came from, and all of the cats just have to tell her that they don't have a mom. Um, at one point, apparently Gus Talon had an argument with Petal Mouse and says very hurtful things. And I can't help but if that wonder if that argument had something to do with the fact that apparently he is spotted searching the Duskland border, and he is looking for a very specific cat. Um, but Karma comes out after him, and while he is out, he gets his leg stuck in a two-leg trap and is injured, and that happens at the end of the year. Gus Talon is also the father of Smokestar's kit, Snip Kit. They don't have any particular relationship. I guess they just kind of had a one and done thing and it resulted in baby. He does talk about how he's going to take this responsibility seriously, and I guess we'll see where that goes. So, Gray Kit is obviously very concerned about who his parents are, and she is very confused about where her parents are. She doesn't know where she came from. She just knows that she's in this clan, and um, she keeps asking these older warriors what happened, and they're all kind of giving her different stories. And sadly, she never really gets to learn who her parents are. Um, Grey Kit is stolen by an eagle, but saved by Petal Mouse in Greenleaf, and apparently the eagle had fleas because she got fleas the same moon, and despite Petal Mouse's efforts, Grey Kit dies of her wounds, and she's actually surprised to find herself in StarClan. She was just old enough to become an apprentice when she died, and she is constantly regretting the fact that she didn't get to live her life. Um, so yeah, Sally, that is Grey Kit. So last but not least, we have the girl, the myth, the legend. It is Pearfreckle. Now, Pearfreckle has a very interesting start in Badgerclan. Uh, she immediately gets lost somehow, even though she knows the territory well. She gets lost. Um, and so she this kind of establishes that she's a bit of a ditz, just a little bit. And Pearfreckle and Ganderize, they actually get into like a really big like blow up fight, and then they immediately share their prey with Grey Kit, which is sweet of them. Uh, and then a few moons later, Pearfreckle on a patrol, they find a fox kit, and Pearfreckle goes up to this fox and basically intimidates it into giving her its prey. I don't know if she's reckless. I don't know if she's definitely boisterous. I can't tell if she has no brain cells or all the brain cells. Um, Either way, it's kind of queen behavior. Slay girl. Um, she then has to she gets stuck in a burr bush, and Smokestar has to help her pick burrs out of her foot. And this is around the time where Pearfreckle and Gus Talon really get along. They basically become besties. Uh, and Gus Talon actually saves a piece of Pearfreckle's favorite prey. Um, and then Smokestar and Pearfreckle, they heckle another clan together at the gathering. I guess it's just a 1-2 combo. Smokestar and Pearfreckle. And they actually go on patrol together. But sadly, this is the patrol where they find the Wolverine den. And Pearfreckle, being Pearfreckle, decides she is just going to hop right in there and check it out. And Smokestar has to follow her. And she ends up with a mangled leg. Um, and despite this mangled leg, she is still sparring with her clanmates. And that is probably why it gets really badly infected within a moon. And so she is stuck in the medicine cat den with Petal Mouse for about 5 moons. It's no longer infected at about 2, but it's still healing. And Petal Mouse, I guess she makes some kind of mistake because Pearfreckle realizes that Petal Mouse doesn't have everything together, even though she's this great medicine cat who is doing her best. Um, she is a very tired cat. She's stressed out very easily. And Pearfreckle is just kind of amazed to see that this medicine cat is not a perfect cat. Um, and so after that, despite having their differences before, the two cats actually become pretty good friends. And by the end of the year, her leg heals up. Flower Cry is ecstatic to go on patrols with her again. The entire clan is happy about it. And yeah, so Petal Mouse had a very interesting year. Not Petal Mouse, Pear Freckle. Yeah, so that is Badgerclan year one. I hope you all enjoyed this little experiment. I plan on making more videos just for funsies. Um, if if you have any advice on how to do a better job drawing, personally, I would love some art advice. I use Metabang Paint Pro because I'm a broke bitch. Uh, and I would enjoy, like, I don't know how to blend really, so advice on how to do that would be really great. Um, yeah. So I hope you enjoyed this as I am enjoying it, and I will see you guys next time. Bye bye.